The dashcam. Don't know if it's a Russian invention, but you would think with all the videos that have been coming out from Russia in the last few years that it was a Russian invention. So thanks for that, and the vodka. Yay. Anyway, recently, before Christmas, I was in a branch of Eurogiant, which is kind of an Irish pawn shop, although we have the Euro here. It used to be called Euro 2, where they sold everything for €2. But then, possibly due to competition coming in the form of Deals, which is the Irish branch of the British Poundland chain, which charges £1.49 for everything, Euro 2 became Eurogiant, started charging £1.49 for all the usual stuff you'd expect to find in such a shop, such as bin bags, old dog food, and confections from strange brand names you've never heard of. But they also sell electrical items such as Bluetooth speakers, popcorn makers, hair dryers from companies made by companies you've never heard of, and dash cams. It was €20, which, to be honest, I don't expect to get a lot for €20. I know, given that if you go to a branch of Halfords, which is a car parts store, you expect to pay at least €80-90 for the most basic model of dash cam. But you never know. I thought, hey, it's only €20. I'll give it a try and see what it's like. So, there's the box. It's a super slim micro DVR dash cam, capture every detail on the road, quick and easy to fit, AVI video format. Well, that raises a few alarm bells, because AVI, as video formats go, is pretty old. It's kind of the 1990s video format. Plus the fact one of the biggest problems of AVI is it isn't even a video form. It isn't a video format as such. It's a video wrapper. So the video is encoded, compressed using whatever codec the manufacturer chooses. So it could be something popular like Sorensen or one of the Intel codecs, or it could be some really obscure codec you've never heard of, which would make downloading and editing the video a bit of a pain. But we'll see. Records directly to SD card. An interesting feature is motion detecting recording brackets anti-theft technology, which I think means that if you leave the camera switched on in the car, if it detects someone moving around, it'll get their picture. The problem there is if someone's stealing your car and you've got this camera with a motion sensing technology on, not only is the thief getting a car, they're also getting a dash cam as well, with all the evidence on it. So not quite sure the usefulness of that feature. Look on the back, yada yada yada, typical sort of stuff. So what's in the box, I hear you ask? USB micro mini B cable, which was the format of which was depreciated in 2007 to be replaced with a micro USB format. So I'm surprised this is still being used, especially given that dash cams are a fairly recent innovation. Cigarette lighter charger for the car, and a sucky window mount. So there you go. Let's have a look at the camera. Before I move on to the camera, the instructions. Very basic sheet. Really not very good instructions at all. They're pathetic, in fact. But let's have a look at the specifications. LCS screen, that's what it says. 2.4-inch high density, video resolution HD, video format AVI, max photo resolution 3 megapixels, a photo format JPEG, max SD card, micro SD card up to 32 gigabytes, microphone speaker integral, power interface 5 volts DC, 1 amp USB, and battery integral 300 milliamp hours. 300 milliamp hours seems a bit weak, given that most dash cams seem to have at least 500 milliamp hour batteries. Because what you want is, if there is a crash or something happens to your car that cuts the power, it would be nice for the camera to keep recording afterwards for as long as it takes, because things get said and arguments happen in some parts of the world. You know, you might even have a shootout. And so there you go. So here's the camera. It's extremely plasticky. I mean, phenomenal. It's just pure plastic. I'm sure the lens is plastic as well. If you look at the screen, it's squeezed. It just flexes completely. I don't know if you can hear this. but it rattles. If I squeeze it, the rattle stops. It's terrible build quality, but for €20, what do you expect? And there's your SD card slots, mounting point for the sucky thing, and USB slot. So let's switch it on. Oh look, a Mercedes with a registration plate 2000 TU. Okay. Now notice what it says there, the battery is fully charged. Well, we're going to learn about that in a short while. I'm going to show you the menu. The menu is pretty appalling. It doesn't make any sense. Some of it's obvious enough. You go in, you press OK, and you can choose your video size. Oh, you scroll down, and video time, voice record. See, oh, there's the problem. I charged this for 3 hours today. It does not hold a charge, full stop. I was able to get out earlier and record 2 10-second videos of sample footage, and that is it. That is all I've been able to do with this. And if you want to see that sample footage, and a bit of extra information I thought I would just slip in here while I've got the chance. Trying to insert the sample videos, I realised that they were all 720, even though I know for the first one I set the camera to 1080. And furthermore, I did a bit more investigating of some of the simple 1-second images, videos I recorded yesterday when playing around with the camera. 1 second each because of the battery, which would cut out as soon as I started recording. And despite the fact I know I recorded some of those with 1080 because I was fiddling around with the settings, it always came back 720. So no matter what the settings were, the videos were 720 resolution. So to claim this is a 1080 resolution camera, no, it's not. It's 720. And as for the video codec, it's actually Motion JPEG, which is a bit of a curious choice for a dash cam. Motion JPEG is a codec designed for a very specific purpose in mind. It's good for streaming images into web browsers where a web browser does not natively support a video codec, or it's used in network video cameras, for example. And also, it's designed for applications where there's very little processing power. It doesn't compress as well as, say, MP4 video. So I can see why they chose it for this camera. It's easy to compress. That being said, it doesn't handle moving images or detailed images very well, which would probably explain what I'm going to say soon about the image quality being so poor. So there you go. Quite disappointed with that. So back to the video. The first thing you will have noticed from the sample footage is it was terrible. This picture quality was awful. Now, although it doesn't look it, I wasn't actually moving the camera around as much as you think from that footage. I was trying to keep it steady, and I think whatever compression algorithm or whatever compression codec is in use, it's just very poor. No, it just doesn't do a very good job of smoothing out the video. Secondly, the audio. You may have noticed this sort of rattling mechanical sound. It sounds a bit like a power tool. That's the fault with this here. There was no background noise apart from some slight background wind. But yes, that rattling sound was just being generated on this device. So, to all intents and purposes, it's a pile of crap. I mean, and for €20, what do you expect? Now, well, actually, for €20, I would have expected at the very least to at least record okay-ish video and okay-ish sound. The fact that the sound and video is completely unusable is pretty poor, to be honest with you. And also the menu system is incomprehensible. So if you are going to buy a dash cam, I'd honestly go spend an extra €50, €60 or whatever and go to Halfords and get their basic model, or go to Argos or any sort of decent, reputable store. This is really a pile of crap. So what I'm going to do now is just have a nosy inside, and hopefully I won't cut my finger off. There's no obvious screws on this to gain access. There's also a sort of air of iPhone 4 about this, when you think about it. The metallic sides, the black glass, plastic. Oh, so obviously whoever designed this had an iPhone 4. So what I'm going to try and do is go in through here. Oh, very much success. I'm going to take a few minutes to do this and then I'll come back. And we're back. I tried to remove the back, it didn't work, but the front was much easier. So let's see. Oh. That didn't do anything at all. Okay, let's see. How are we going to get in here? Use the screwdriver, probably a bit safer. So, let's see what we got here. So, I'm assuming that this is the battery pack. That is pathetic. According to this, it's... I can't quite read that. So what I'm going to do is come back and edit it into the video. It should be appearing along the bottom of the screen. Or is that? I don't know. Let's see what kind of camera lens we had. Here are the infrared bulbs, which give out infrared light for night recording. I see this feature a lot on cameras, security cameras and the like, and dash cams. Like I've actually got a couple of pretty decent TP-Link and Belkin IP video cameras around the house, and they tout this feature. The problem is, if you put it anywhere near a window, all you actually see is the reflection of the light bulbs. It washes out the picture. So with a video camera in the home, you probably might not put it near a window, but with a dash cam, you almost certainly are going to be putting it behind the windscreen. So if you're using infrared at night time, all you're going to see is a reflection of the infrared bulbs. I've never quite understood the logic there. So, interesting. This battery, I'm just amazed by the size of this battery. Cheapo speaker. To be honest with you, oh, still working, amazingly. Let's see if I can just pull the rest of it out. It's actually proven tougher than I thought it would. That's definitely a plastic lens. There's the camera. I can't see any obvious part number on it. I'll have a look afterwards and see if there is, and if so, I'll edit it into the video. Yeah, it's going to take me a bit of time to peel off the adhesive pad. I'm actually surprised that it's taken as hard as it is to take apart. I actually expected it to just fall apart in no time at all. So yeah. So maybe when I said it was flimsy, I wasn't being as accurate as I could be. Well, there's the screen. And let's see, any part numbers. Not that I can see. So, I think I've pushed it as far as I can. So yeah, I think the biggest surprise of all is the battery. That's just, it wasn't fixed into position. And secondly, when I seen it, it was minuscule. I honestly don't believe, I can't see that being a 300 milliamp hour battery. But anyway, I'll check it anyway. So anyway, there you go. Moral of the story is don't spend 20 euros on a dash cam, because you're going to just get a pile of crap. So, a bit of an addendum. On further inspection, I've actually realised that the battery is actually a 90 milliamp hour battery, not as advertised or specified in the manual. A 300 milliamp hour battery. So, the battery is less than 1/3 of the capacity they say it would be. Now, okay, I know you're going to say it's 20 euros camera. What do you expect? And yeah, I have to be honest in saying you don't expect everything to be accurate. To know that, like, there's stuff that's written on the box which makes absolutely no sense at all. That being said, that if they're going to give you, say, a 300 milliamp hour battery, they could just give you a really crappy 300 milliamp hour batteries and still be no, not telling any lies. So yeah, I feel, no, it's kind of one of those things, as if it did actually have a decent battery, you know, you could give it to a child as a camera, or you could stick it on the front of your bike, or even, as I was considering, sticking it on the dog, because I've always wanted to see what things look like from a dog's perspective. Probably the same as what it looks like from humans' perspective, except you see more crotch or bum and stuff like that. Things that dogs like anyway. Yeah, that's what, no, dogs are weird. But anyway, so yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed by that. No, it would explain the incredibly poor battery life, and it would also call into question the quality of the battery anyway. Like, as 90 milliamp hour batteries go, it's nothing really. 90 milliamp hours is tiny. So there you go. So yeah, buyer beware and all that.